Welcome to Piano Plates, where we explore interesting dishes and try to make some of them here at home. My name is Hugh Sung. I'm a professional pianist and a bit of a foodie. I'm wearing this shirt from Yamaha because Yamaha is actually the inspiration for today's recipe, Japanese Fluffy Pancakes. I recently had the incredible opportunity to visit Yamaha's piano factory in Kakegawa City, which is about an hour, 2 hours train ride outside of Tokyo. There I saw how they make some of the world's best pianos. It was such an amazing trip. But all during that trip, my colleagues and I were craving Japanese fluffy pancakes. And fortunately, on the very last day of our trip, we were able to find this small, out-of-the-way cafe that, if I heard correctly, was one of the places that originated Japanese fluffy pancakes. So it was incredible to get a taste of history, to watch a master put those pancakes together. And I have to tell you, they were out of this world, just melt in your mouth, soft and fluffy. I mean, it really almost didn't feel like you were eating anything. It was like tasting clouds. It was unbelievable. Anyway, ever since coming back from that trip, I've been obsessing over trying to learn how to make Japanese fluffy pancakes for myself. I've watched dozens of YouTube videos, and I was a little intimidated. It's not an easy recipe. And the first few videos I saw required 3 eggs, cream of tartar, baking soda, and it was just, I was going through eggs like crazy. Fortunately, I did a little more research and I found another series of recipes that only required 1 egg. So we're going to be working on a 1-egg Japanese pancake recipe. And I love this because even if you make a mistake, you're not going through cartons of eggs. So it's very economical to experiment and to learn to make this with just this 1-egg recipe. All right, so we're going to be using 1 egg. And instead of baking soda and cream of tartar, I actually found that there's another really interesting ingredient to help maintain the egg white stiffness, and that is vinegar. Now, I'm using vinegar. You can also substitute this with a couple of drops of lemon juice. I don't typically carry lemons around here, so vinegar I use a lot in Asian cooking, so this is perfect. So these ingredients are adapted to what I typically have at home. All right, so I've pre-measured my ingredients. Let's kind of go through this really quickly. Of course, I've got my single egg. I've got 1 tablespoon of milk, 2 tablespoons of flour. Now, a lot of recipes call for cake flour, but I just couldn't find any where I am, so I'm using regular flour, and that use seems to work just fine. 1 teaspoon of vinegar and 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. All right, let's crack open our egg, separate the yolk and the white, and get started. So here we go. So to our egg, we're going to add the milk. And I almost forgot, we need to add a little bit of vanilla. This is optional, but it adds a lovely flavor to it. So I'm going to add the last of my vanilla here. I'm going to add about a capful of that. Let's whisk that together. Now we're going to sift in our flour. I don't have a sifter. I'm just using a metal basket, and it seems to work just fine. Now let's whisk all of this together. I'm going to be looking for a ribbon texture, a ribbon consistency to this batter. That's good. I'm going to leave my whisk in there and let's start working on our egg whites. Now to our egg whites, we're going to add the vinegar. The key is not to add in your sugar all at once. We're going to add it just a little bit at a time. If you add too much sugar, it'll actually make the stiffening process more difficult. It'll just take longer. So there's a great technique for timing exactly when to put the sugar in and how long to beat these eggs. So we're going to be beating them on medium with a hand mixer. Don't beat them too fast. We don't want to overbeat them. Of course, we don't want to underbeat them. We're just looking for the perfect texture. And so to do so, we're going to use a 3-minute egg beating technique. Okay? We're just going to count it off in 3 minutes, and every 30 seconds, we're going to add about 1/4 of the sugar. All right, let's get started. All right, first 30 seconds. I'm going to add about 1/4 of the sugar. These egg whites look fantastic. This is great. So nice and stiff. In fact, what I can do is I can put this over my head. It's not going to even fall down. I think this is a meringue test or so. Anyway, perfectly stiff. It's keeping its shape. Looks fantastic. That 3-minute technique is perfect every single time. All right, now let's go back to our egg batter. Let's add about 1/3 of this into our egg yolk batter. We're going to mix that together pretty vigorously. And now we're going to pour the egg yolk batter into our egg whites. Let's use our spatula. We're going to gently fold this in together. We want to be careful not to overmix this because we want this whole mixture to be able to keep its shape. That'll make the pancakes rise and stay fluffy rather than collapse and become just a flatjack, whatever. So incorporate this gently. I always get so nervous about this part. So take a look. You can see that even after I move this, it's keeping its shape, right? That's what you want. So this looks like the perfect texture here. All right. Now let's add this into our piping bag. Now I've seen other techniques where people are using ice cream scoopers with the triggers. I was looking for that. I can't find that anywhere. So I've got this silicone reusable piping bag, which is great. If you don't have one of these, you can use just a baggie, a plastic baggie, cut a small hole in the corner, and use that to pipe out your mixture. So you can see I folded this over in an attempt to try to be neat. Okay, and this cup is a great idea just to keep this open here so I can use both hands to get this in nice and neat. Let's give this a try. Let's put this all in here. Okay, let's head over to our pan and start cooking. Now the trickiest thing, in my opinion, to cooking Japanese fluffy pancakes is getting the temperature right. I've done this so many times, and I've either overcooked them or undercooked them. What I'm going to try to do is to come up with a technique that adapts to my oven, but you're going to have to experiment because every oven is slightly different. Every stovetop is a little different, whether you're using gas or electric. So here's what I'm doing with my stovetop. I'm going to set the oven to medium. I'm going to add in a ½ tablespoon of butter. Other recipes call for adding oil, but I like the taste of butter better than oil for my pancakes. So this is straight out of the refrigerator, by the way. So cold little pat of butter here. And I'm going to let that melt completely before brushing it around the bottom. When this completely melts at medium heat, then I know that roughly it's the right time to put the batter on. Okay, my butter is completely melted. I'm going to take a brush and brush that all around the bottom of the pan so that the pancakes don't stick to the bottom. Okay, so we're going to cook these pancakes in 2 stages. I'm going to put the batter in, about half of the batter, maybe a little bit more than half the batter, okay? And then we're going to cover it and cook it for a couple of minutes, and then add the rest of the batter on top of that. So that'll help to ensure that we've got some good volume for our pancakes. All right, let's start piping. One little thing I've learned about piping is that you don't swirl around. Basically, keep your piping bag in one spot, and that'll make the prettiest shape. So here we go. Start over here. Actually, I'm going to start over this one. So stay in one spot. Do that. So I've gotten about 3/4 of the batter out by feel. Okay, that's pretty good. Now to this, I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of water. This will hopefully create some steam and help the cooking and rising process for the pancakes. Now I'm going to cover this. Now, previously I was using bowl, and I saw another video where they were using, instead of, I don't have a lid for this, and you want to have something that's not too flat. So I've got a little wok. I'm going to cover this and create my little steam pocket here. All right. Set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
All right, here we go. All right, let's see how it's looking so far. All right, not too bad. Now let's go ahead and add the rest of our batter. I'm going to add another teaspoon of water. Cover this up again. Set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
All right, moment of truth. This is the part I get really nervous about. Flipping these pancakes. Okay, hopefully we've cooked them long enough. Take a quick look and see if I can see the bottom before flipping this over. Looking good. Okay, now let's flip them over. You see it's holding its shape. Now we've got some fluffy pancakes. Look at that. Now you'll notice that the little bulb that I created made it a little bit easier for me to flip them over without making too much of a mess. I'm going to press it down just a little bit. Okay, looking pretty good. All right. Let's cover this up again and cook for another 2 minutes. I'm going to lower the heat down to medium-low. Set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Timer off. All right, I'm just going to take a quick peek at the bottom of these, see if I need a little more time. Nope, these are perfect. All right. Let's plate it. Look at this. All right. We have fluffy pancakes. Look at these beautiful babies. All right. Put them over here. Wow. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Of course, need a little bit of butter, don't we? Let's add some butter into that. And how about some powdered sugar? Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? I don't have maple syrup, but I do have a little bit of a agave nectar, so I'm going to add some of this on top of that. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, let's give these babies a taste. That looks so beautiful. Look at this. You know what I love about this? It holds its shape. Just bring this over. Oh, it's all dripping syrupy. Take a look at that. All right, let's give this a taste. Oh my goodness, this is it's like I'm back in Kakagawa. Totally melt in your mouth. This is beautiful. We've got this beautifully browned on top, but the inside is cooked, but so fluffy. It totally melts in your mouth. Oh my goodness, this is so much fun. Yay! Like I said, the trickiest part is figuring out your stovetop. So if it's burning, I mean, obviously you're gonna have to try this a couple of times, which is why it's so great. You're only wasting one egg at a time if you fail. But don't give up. It's really, really worth practicing and getting this right. Oh, this tastes so amazing. I can't wait to finish this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to like and subscribe so that I can let you know whenever I have new videos. For Piano Plates, I'm Hugh Sung. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, fluffy pancakes. Oh, this is so good.